In order to make bread, every baker follows a recipe, even if it's only held in their head. The same is true for making money. Most of us have heard the saying, you are what you eat. I have a slightly different slant. I say, you become what you study. In other words, be careful what you learn because your mind is so powerful that you become what you put in your head. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great start to the day today. It is beautiful, sunny here. I'm very motivated today, so I am looking forward to doing some reading for you. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Oops, wrong way for BIGO. And then that should hopefully motivate you as well. And you'll have some things that are going to inspire you and give you things to take action on. So let's get into it so that you can get your day started. Last day of the week, so let's do a big effort for today and get some amazing things done. Here we go. Number 4, master a formula and then learn a new one. The power of learning quickly. In order to make bread, every baker follows a recipe, even if it's only held in their head. The same is true for making money. Most of us have heard the saying, you are what you eat. I have a slightly different slant. I say, you become what you study. In other words, be careful what you learn because your mind is so powerful that you become what you put in your head. For example, if you study cooking, you then tend to cook. If you don't want to be a cook anymore, then you need to study something else. This fits in very well with what Mladen and I were talking about yesterday, who was on the Zoom with me and who created the online version of cash flow that we enjoy and do a lot with. So very, very fitting today. When it comes to money, the masses generally have one basic formula they learn in school, and it's this: work for money. The predominant formula I see in the world is that every day millions of people get up, go to work, earn money, pay bills, balance checkbooks, buy some mutual funds, and go back to work. That is the basic formula or recipe. And yet there are so many different recipes out there, and there are so many things that we can learn. So when it comes to everything, we are always selling ourselves. We always have to put the right foot forward and create a good impression with people. So we need to learn about communication as well. We need to learn about finances. We can learn about the stock market, about real estate, about cryptocurrencies. There are so many different things that we can learn about. So it's important to figure out what you enjoy, what is going to resonate with you, and learn. A lot of people think that when you finish school, that is the end of learning, but that is definitely not the case. I remember I got my license and I got it over in Austria. And as soon as we finished, and I was the only one that day that passed, and they gave me my license and they said, so you think that you have a license now and you're good to drive. And I thought about it, and I thought I already knew where it was headed. And the person says to me, this is just the beginning. Now you have your license, you get to go out and practice, but this is where your learning really starts. So it's like when you do your driving lessons, you are learning, but you are not really experiencing as much. So yes, you are learning the rules and you know how the car works and you know which foot to press and how to change the gears and all of those different things. But when you get your license and you are allowed to start driving, that's when the real learning starts. That is when you experience traffic. That's when you experience what happens when somebody else isn't paying attention and you have to do an evasive maneuver. That's when you learn all of these different things that you don't learn when you are just learning to drive, especially if you're using a driving school. So the same applies in finance and in business and in real estate and in investment. You can learn, you can go to seminars, you can learn different things. But until you actually take that and start applying it, and you start taking that knowledge and using it, and you will make mistakes. And if you have the right advisor and if you have the right people around you to help you, you will make less mistakes. You'll still make mistakes, but you'll make less mistakes. And you are going to learn more from that than the learning itself. So don't just learn, but also implement. And that implementation, that is the greatest part of the learning overall. If you're tired of what you're doing or you're not making enough, it's simply a case of changing the formula via which you make money. Years ago, when I was 26, I took a weekend class called How to Buy Real Estate Foreclosures. I learned a formula. The next trick was to have the discipline to actually put into action what I had learned. That is where most people stop. For 3 years, while working for Xerox, I spent my spare time learning to master the art of buying foreclosures. I've made several $1 million using that formula. So after I mastered that formula, I went in search of other formulas. For many of the classes, I did not directly use the information I learned, but I always learned something new. So I absolutely agree. It's important to learn many different things. So learn about the stock market, learn about real estate, but start by implementing one. And when you have a bit of a result, or when you realize that it just doesn't really sit with you, then move on. But don't do all of them at once. When I was younger, I used to think I could do shares and real estate and everything at the same time. Start with one, get into the groove of it. And once you have that groove, then you can move on to the next one. Make sure that it's not going to take you extra time. See if you can systemize some of the things that you're doing with the first one so that you don't have to eventually peak when you run out of time. So this is the difference between how a lot of people think and how the most successful people think. They will structure things. They will have a plan around how they're going to do things. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to be making a video for the YouTube channel a little bit later on about how I structure my time. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll share what the details are of that YouTube channel in just a moment. I have attended classes designed for derivative traders, commodity option traders, and chartologists. I was way out of my league, being in a room full of people with doctorates in nuclear physics and space science. Yet I learned that a lot that made my stock and real estate investing more meaningful and lucrative. Most junior colleges and community colleges have classes on financial planning and buying traditional investments. They are good places to start, but I always search for a faster formula. That is why on a fairly regular basis, I make more in a day than many people will make in their lifetime. And again, very, very true. So you can find very cheap ways to learn the basics and start with the basics. And once you have an understanding of how it works, then you can go into a little bit more detail and find out clever ways of doing things differently, or how you might be able to bend the rules a little bit to assist you. So, for example, you will not learn how to protect your assets from a very basic class. So you will go to a class on the stock market. You will learn how to trade, how the market works. You might not learn very sophisticated strategies. So you might only be able to do very, very simple trades. But you're not going to learn how to do more complicated trades, how to perhaps meet the right people in order to be able to get better information, or how to learn some various strategies that you might not have heard of before. And you're most definitely not going to learn how to protect your assets, because you might be creating more income and taxing yourself at a higher level. So start with the basics, but then start to have a look at, where am I being held back? Where am I losing money because my taxation has gone up? How can I fix that? What can I do to not reduce my tax? Or you can reduce, minimize, but not do anything illegal. But how can I minimize the tax that I pay? Is there a way that I can deduct something off my tax in order to reduce my taxable income, in order to then keep more of that money for myself that I've just made? So these are the kinds of things that you want to do. Start small and then grow, and find out what you need, and surround yourself with amazing people that can show you what you might be missing that you don't know about. Because if you don't know about asset protection, then you're not going to think of it. But if somebody else around you is talking about it because that's something that they are doing, because they have discovered that it's important, then you are going to discover it as well. There's only so much that we know. There's only so much of the vast sum of knowledge on any topic that we know. We tend to read the same books. We tend to find the same information. It's not until we go outside of that area of expertise that we already have that we will start to pick up new things. It's similar to when people come and play cash flow. People come and play cash flow, and they will play the same way they play in real life. So if they're extremely cautious in real life, they'll be extremely cautious and they won't get ahead in the game. If they are extremely big risk takers in real life, they'll be extremely big risk takers and often go bankrupt in the game. So see what you can do to switch it up a little bit and do things a little bit differently and experiment with things. And that's why the game is such a great place to do that, because in real life, if you start doing things differently, it's going to be uncomfortable and you could end up losing out and creating more problems for yourself and losing money. But if you do it in the game first, you can experiment with different things and you're not losing out on anything because it's only just play money. So definitely something to take into consideration. And finally, another side note. In today's fast-changing world, it's not so much what you know anymore that counts, because often what you know is old. It is how fast you learn. That skill is priceless. It's priceless in finding faster formulas, recipes, if you will, for making dough. No pun intended, I'm sure. Working hard for money is an old formula born in the day of cavemen. So I am sure you had some amazing ideas that you're going to be able to implement from this today. So I'm going to leave you to get on with your day and finish the week strong with some really good tasks toward your goals so that you can create an amazing life that you really deserve. If you'd like to see more of these videos and if you'd like to know more about my time scheduling, then feel free to go to the Passive Cash Flow Club on YouTube. That time scheduling video may not be up to date, but we have a video on credit cards and whether you should get them or not and why the experts cannot agree. We've got lots of other great videos. We've also got the rest of the Rich Dad Poor Dad with my commentary. So you can go there and start from the beginning, look up different chapters that we have to talk about. And I'd love to get your comments and get you subscribed so that you see whenever we put some more great content videos up for you. If you resonated with the Cash Flow Club and being able to invest without losing any money and changing and testing different strategies, then get in touch with me on Instagram. You can see what I'm up to. You can reach out and ask me questions and we can make videos about them on YouTube. You can come and join us at Cashflow, and especially the online version, which is a even more realistic version that's going to teach you even more about taxes, and it takes the game to a whole new level. We've got some really amazing things coming up with the stock market that we are improving that are going to make it more realistic and teach you even more so that you can achieve even more in real life. So how do you get in touch on Instagram? Go to business_team_6_official. You'll be able to find me there. Send me a message if you want to know more about cash flow. I'll get my VA to send you the information about that. If you'd like to ask any questions that you're unsure of about investing, if you have these burning questions such as, how do I find the right investment? How much should I invest to start off with? What is the best way to find a broker for real estate? Should I do it on my own, or should I go through a broker, or should I use an online broker? Which broker is the best broker for the stock market? You could ask questions about options, or how do I get started, or how do I take it to the next level? I'm open to answering all of your questions. So get in touch through Instagram. I am looking forward to getting to know as many of you as possible, because I know there are quite a few of you watching on BIGO today. So I am looking forward to really getting to know you. I'm going to leave you to get on with your day and create some amazing things so that you can live the life of your dreams. Have a really good day, and I'll see you all on Monday, and enjoy your weekend in the meantime too.